What do you mean? The wage gap exists? What about it? Shh, lower voice. You believe me. You and I agree on this, but I'll let you have your spiel. You don't think that the wage gap exists?
No, we talked about this. I don't think it exists because women choose different jobs.
Okay.
And women work less.
Awesome. So listen. We agree. A wage gap exists. And it exists because women choose different jobs and women work less. So we agree, right?
Oh, I didn't know that's what you meant.
I meant what I said. No, we agree. Okay. So now the next question that a scientist or a sociologist or a psychologist, maybe sociologist, would ask is, why do women work less? Why do women choose different fields of work? That's where that line of question leads us to, right?
Well, women work less because they choose to have children. And now, is that an inequality? Yep. I would say yes.
Okay. I don't think it's just because of the children thing, though. I don't think it's just because of the children thing.
That's the main one, and it's because...
That's the main one? Do you have research that can link me to the exact statistical...
I do not. That is an opinion.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And I would... No, I mean, I'm allowed to have opinions, too.
Okay. Well, my opinion is I don't think that they do, so...
leave for men. Is parent leave for men. No? We need more leave for men. I think we need more leave for women as well, because I believe it's insane the short amount of time that most women are allowed in this country.
Sure, and paternal leave and all of that are good things, right? Now look at what just happened, okay? I want to point this out because I'm very happy, okay? We just had a statistic, the wage gap, that even though we looked at it a little differently, we both agree that it exists, and now what you are presenting to me are solutions to that gap. Maybe men need a little bit more paternal leave. Maybe women need more paternal. Maybe there's a different way to balance that out, right? So that we can reach a better equilibrium between the two sexes, right? Look at that. That was a good...
I do not think that it's a gap in the way that it is presented by feminists.
Sure. Listen, don't strawman me. I do agree that there are a lot of people that say stupid shit like women earn 78 cents on the dollar for a man or whatever. I think even Obama was quoted as saying that, and I do think that shit is stupid as fuck, okay? But I'm not here to back those statements up.
It's incorrect statistics.
Sure.
And that triggers me. But, so yes, I would agree, 100%. Outside of that, I really, okay, so, I don't know, what was the issue? Immigrants?
I felt that you are playing double standards to things that you disagree with. It was what we initially brought up, so I brought up your views of gender equality in 2 different areas, on rape statistics in 2 different areas, and on crimes in courtrooms in 2 different areas.
It's really not a double standard, it's that things have specific times where they're applicable.
Okay, and the times that are politically expedient?
It's not politically expedient. I'm a anarcho-communist, anarcho-capitalist.
Okay, but you're very anti-immigration of Muslims. I can tell that from the conversation.
Extremely anti. Well, it's not. Okay, here's the thing. I hate the fact that that's considered a racist thing, and that's exactly why I don't want anyone to find who I am, because that's what will make me lose my job.
Okay, sure. I mean, I think I don't want to call you racist, but when the United States has huge problems
why is Islam being anti-Islam racist?
Because I don't know people that are like anti-Islam but love Mexicans or Hispanics.
I love Mexicans and Hispanics.
Okay, well that's cool. Then maybe you're the odd one out. But I know, but like I personally, and I admit this is anecdotal, but I could also I could give you polls for this data as well, that a lot of people that share the anti-immigration sentiments feel very similarly about Muslims and feel very similarly about Mexicans, but don't feel the same way about people in Western Europe. So it's like a little bit strange sometimes when you have a bunch of people saying, whoa, I'm not racist. I just hate Mexicans and I just hate Islamic people, and I just hate people in like Africa, and I think black people in the United States are fucked. But I'm not racist. None of those are racist. Not racist. I'm just against all of these different groups of people that happen to not be white. Like it gets a little bit hard for me to buy after a certain period in time.
Okay,
but
I don't like Christianity.
Cool.
I hate Islam. Islam is a medieval religion that encourages throwing gay people off of rooftops. It encourages.
I don't think all Muslims do that. But there are definitely
not all Muslims. It's like not all feminists. It is a complete excuse.
Okay, I don't think I want to get into the foreign country debate because I feel like that's going to turn into a huge shit show.
I'm fine with whatever, but I really do not think that we should allow
any Muslims into the country.
Not all, but I mean, if they have ties to ISIS, just get the fuck out.
Do you think that we let people into this country with ties to ISIS?
We do.
Why? How?
Why do we let them in?
How do they get in with ties to the ISIS?
Do you understand that, like, Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all these countries just, like, are funding this shit? Trying to...
Okay, but how do you think they just get in?
Because we're, like, okay with it.
We're okay with... How? How would they make it past all of the checks that we do for people that come in?
Have you ever been through security on a plane?
Do you think that getting into the United States of America is the same as just going through security on an airplane?
Pretty much. I've left the country, so...
Because you're coming out of the United States of America. You realize there's a big difference.
Come back, and come... You think I just left and never...
Do you have a passport?
Yes.
So you have an official document backed by the United States of America saying that you're a legitimate citizen.
You know how easy it is to get it? You just wait 6 weeks.
Okay, so then so if somebody has ties to ISIS but they're sneaking with a passport, what do we do about that? What does that have to do with anything?
I don't fucking know.
You're saying we shouldn't let people into the country with ties to ISIS. The implication there is that we let people into the country with ties to ISIS. But now you're telling me they sneak in with illegitimate passports. So those are two different things. So then we don't let people into the country with ties to ISIS, right?
Pretty lax in it.
How are we lax? Can you tell me the process for a person coming over to the United States? Can you, especially from like the refugee zone, can you tell me the screening that they have to go through?
Yeah, I'll tell you. You go to the airport and you show them your passport.
So there's no personal interviews with the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and all of these other organizations, Homeland Security. None of these people vet your background or have multiple interviews conducted with you in person or have individuals that talk to you. None of that happens. That's all just like a big meme. People just show up at the airport and they get in.
It's never happened to me, to or from.
Because you are a United States citizen. You really don't understand the difference between being a United States citizen and being from...
How do you think, like, okay, so like, you know the fact that, like, fucking, okay, the thing it's so difficult.
It is.
That, like,
to legally get into the United States is very difficult. Okay. We have one of the most stringent processes in the world.
A bunch of immigrants, a bunch of Syrian immigrants got sent to Poland, right? And
I'm talking about the United States. I'm not talking about Poland. I don't know how the fuck.
Listen to me. So a bunch of immigrants, of Syrian immigrants, got sent to Poland by mistake, and they got put in a not very fun, not very luxurious building, and they didn't like it, so they wanted to go back to Greece so they could go to Germany where they could get a bunch of money.
Okay.
You understand, like, why this shit's bullshit.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. How does this relate to what I just said?
Okay. It's really easy, at least in the EU, to get around. And
because the European Union all have agreements drawn up with each other to allow you to freely move from country to country.
You are in the EU, and you have an EU passport. You can get to the US super easily.
Super easily, really. So you don't have to go through all of those organizations to vet you. Do you really? I guess, like, it's funny for me because I stream and I have an international audience, so, like, I hear from a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm sure my fucking channel's gonna be destroyed after this.
It is very difficult to legally, like, there are people that, even in my world of esports, even people that play games professionally, have problems just getting a visa to come to the United States sometimes. Just to play games in front of millions of people can have difficulties proving that they deserve the visa to come to the United States. But you're telling me that somebody who's from the country of fucking Iraq or Palestine or Saudi Arabia can just super easily get an EU passport and then just dip into the United States? You really believe that?
Yeah, I do. Why not? You're
Why not? Because I can give you...
racist if you don't. You're racist if you don't. I mean, if you just don't allow everybody in, you're totally racist. You're super awful. You're a terrible racist.
You're strawmanning me again. I never said any of these things.
No, I know you didn't. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that's what the fucking narrative is.
No, that's what the extremist narrative that you're presented on poll says. That's not reality.
I don't think you didn't poll that much. Like,
hold on. Do you read, like...
Do you really think someone who uses poll, like, 24/7 would say things like gender and sexuality are disparate concepts?
No, probably not. But one of the things that we do as humans is if you have personal experience with something, we'll rationalize that away but still buy into another hate group. There were a lot of people, for example, in American history who were part of the KKK, hated black people through and through, but personally had black friends. And their excuse would be like, well, I know him personally, he's a cool dude.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god, I'm not saying, oh, boyfriend.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that, yeah, it's definitely possible for you to browse like extremist alt-right media, but still have personal views that slightly differ because of personal experience.
What's wrong with the alt-right?
They represent.
It means, what do you think it is?
For me personally, in like negative terms or in like objective terms? In objective terms, I think that alt-right people are very patriotic, extremely protective of the currently existing culture, and are extremely protective of the current status quo of how things work in the United States. I also think they're very nostalgic in terms of how things used to be, although I'm not sure exactly what that means sometimes.
It's sort of like, okay, so here's the thing, is that they're not supporting the status quo. They're actually supporting the opposite of the status quo, because right now...
I'm sorry, when I said status quo, I meant like things like culturally, like white people, culture, position. I'm trying to say this in ways that aren't like really negative, it'll trigger the fuck out of you.
No, is it really triggering me? I mean, I've gotten mad from things you've said, but no, like, I'm not a white supremacist.
Okay, well then, this is what I actually think about in non-objective terms. I think that the alt-right people are incredibly nationalistic to a disgusting amount, to a toxic amount. I think that they're way too full of themselves in terms of what America is. I think that they are very blind to the crimes that America has committed and continues to commit sometimes overseas. They're incapable of seeing any fault with the United States. They give way too much credence to big business and think that every businessman is looking out for their best interests, which is stupid, and businessmen know it, but it's funny because the uneducated and unexperienced people don't know that, and I think that the majority of them are probably racist, or at least so hyper-nationalistic that people of a different skin color threaten them and their culture. That's what I think about people in the alt-right in general.
Okay, that's interesting. How come white people should be held responsible for the crimes of their ancestors?
What do you mean by held responsible?
That's what you basically said. You said they should be held responsible.
Never said that. No, I don't think I even said anything remotely insinuating that. I do think that people... Okay. I think that America...
But we did fuck up shit, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, of course. America has fucked up shit. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay,
so how come the Japanese shouldn't be held responsible for their fucked up shit? How come...
For what fucked up shit? You realize Japan got... You realize Japan got nuked twice, right?
Japan! Oh my god!
You realize Japan got nuked twice, right? Should we have dropped a third bomb on them? What do you mean, held accountable?
Do you know what the
rape of Nanking? Yeah, I know that. You know they got nuked twice, right? You were like, what? How much more do you want to? We literally destroyed the country and went in and rebuilt it from the ground up. What else do you want us to do?
We rebuilt it. Okay, but why? Do you know what? The Japanese legislature is actually trying to make it illegal to talk about Japanese war crimes.
Is that true? Didn't the president of Japan just a few years ago go and for the first time formally apologize on behalf of Japan for some of the crimes that they'd committed in different areas?
What? I mean, they were like, whoops, we're sorry. But no, they're trying to make it now illegal to talk about Japanese war crimes.
Well, I think that's bad. In Germany, they have similar things where it's illegal to even do like a...
completely illegal to talk about Hitler.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true.
Oh my god, that's not true. Are you wrong? Are you insane? Like, you can actually go to jail for the shit.
For being a Nazi, maybe? But for just...
Nazi, yes!
Yeah, okay, sure, but not for just talking about...
The fact this is reality.
What?
Your viewers really hate the fact they don't like reality. It's really funny. So yes, that's pretty hilarious. Oh, good, they want to attack me. That's great. Anyway... So, it's only America that's responsible for things that happen.
Did I ever say it was only America's fault? I never said that. I don't care about other countries, though. I'm talking about the United States. Why do you keep deflecting?
Okay, so is it my fault for the fact that my family never owned slaves? Am I still a bad person for being white?
No, I never said that.
I'm just asking, because that's a real opinion that many...
That's a real opinion that some people have that you probably see posted on poll all the time, because the only opinions you get there are the super distilled opinions that they want you to see.
Do you know how I ended up in poll? I ended up in poll because I was on Tumblr in Action on Reddit, and I was like, oh shit.
Okay, then every time I say poll, replace it with the Donald then. It's the same community. What?
I've never used whatever that is.
Oh,
the Donald.
okay. Yeah, it's a subreddit on... Yeah.
But no, like, whatever. No, I started using poll because of how fucked the shit is.
What shit is super fucked up?
People who hate, democracy. People who just want to destroy anyone who disagrees with them. And that is why, you have to understand, that is why the alt-right has, come into such prominence. Is because, the left silences. Absolutely silences everyone.
Okay. I don't disagree. I think that liberals in general have a very toxic way of dealing with criticisms. I don't disagree with that. I don't think that Milo should be banned from giving speeches in school, even though I disagree with everything he says, and I think he's personally a piece of shit. But I do think that...
I actually don't agree with much of what Milo says, too.
Okay.
I think... kind of a jerk.
Okay, but you're trying to attribute to me. I'm making a specific argument about something, and then your response to that has always been to back up a little bit and then attribute to me the most extreme opinions that you presented to about people that share some of my points of view.
You really... I know you think you've beaten me on something that I really don't think you have. So, I don't know. What topic is there that we haven't covered that you think you can beat me on? Or that you can beat me on, just about to beat me, whatever.
I mean...
So we've covered immigration a little bit? I mean, we can still talk about immigration. Oh, we haven't really covered that completely. So what is your opinion on immigration?
I mean, as long as the people are properly vetted, I don't see a problem with immigration to the United States.
At all?
I mean, what do you mean by at all? I mean, obviously we can't let in, like, 500 million immigrants, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like our immigration system right now is pretty broken and needs some kind of overhaul.
I agree. I'm not really...
Wait, but you don't... Well, you agree, but you think that it should be modeled in such a way that lets in far fewer Mexicans and far fewer Muslims, so I don't think that we're on the same page there.
I agree that... Okay, so my family are Welsh and German, and they came here via immigration, legal immigration. So I do not believe that the type of immigration that's getting... Like, you have to understand, look at this from a realistic point of view, is the fact that there are people coming over from Mexico illegally and are basically getting all of the benefits of being an American citizen and getting hired and being able to make money without ever even trying to become an American citizen.
Sure, that's a problem. I agree that illegal immigration is a problem. Do you know how many illegal immigrants we have in the United States right now?
Millions.
It's about 13 million is the current estimate. So yeah, illegal immigration is definitely a problem in the United States. I don't disagree with that.
How can you believe that? Because, okay, so here's the thing. So, like, I recently been hearing libs say that they don't want any ability. They want to remove requiring IDs to vote. And to me, that just says we just want to allow illegals to vote. And that's fucking bullshit.
I would have to look at the specific arguments. I'm not sure it's possible.
I mean, do you think you should be able to vote without a US ID?
I don't know what other requirements they're asking for. I don't think you should be able to go into a thing and just state your name and vote. I think that's pretty stupid.
Yes, okay, thank you. So that's basically what I think.
What does that have to do with immigration?
Because I don't want illegals to come in here and have abilities to give their opinions on our fucking legislature. If they haven't gone through, I mean, because it's obviously difficult. I mean, the people who were my, ancestors, they came through Ellis Island or whatever, and they fucking went through all the shit that's required to become American citizens. And that is not the way that most people become American citizens these days.
So what does that have to do with illegal immigration?
Why should we allow it?
We shouldn't. I don't think anybody is in favor of illegal immigration.
I mean, personally, I think a physical wall will not work.
No, of course not. The majority of people that are in this country illegally are here because they overstay visas. The wall is something that's only supported by people that are educated and ignorant to the realities of illegal immigration. Okay?
Yeah, well, I agree 100%.
Okay, that's a pretty big selling point for Trump, though. You see that at his rallies, build the wall, but... Okay.
No, I see build the wall as a sort of talking point more than a actual point.
How much do I have to donate to step up to the...
Even if they built the best wall possible, and even if everything was perfect, illegal migrants could still either go under it, go over it, or break through it. So it's an absolute impossibility. I feel like the idea of build a wall is a philosophical